I suppose you're wondering what I'm doing here, huh? He didn't reply. Well, I said, huffing out a breath, once again, it seems I have a little issue that needs resolving. Before I could say another word, the wooden door behind the front desk opened, and Officer Ryan, another man I was all too familiar with, stepped into the room. When his hard eyes met mine, a lone expletive spilled from his chapped lips. Shit. I quirked a brow. Well, I'll be, Officer Ryan. Tell me, is that how you greet all concerned citizens, or am I just extra special? He slid his hands into his pockets and looked at me with annoyance. What seems to be the problem today, Mrs. Mason? My drumming fingers ceased all movement. It's Ms. Mason, I spat in a less than hospitable tone. And my problem, I cocked my hip to the side and paused for emphasis, is this department's complete incompetence when it comes to doing their jobs and protecting the good citizens of Toluca County. At my harsh words, both officers' backs straightened. Incompetence? Officer Williams asked in disbelief. How in the world do you figure we're incompetent? In case you haven't noticed, our county has one of the lowest crime rates in the state. That statistic proves we are far from incompetent. A humorless chuckle spilled from my glossed lips. I'm not sure if you're delusional or just plain crazy, though my money is riding on crazy. I tossed him a sarcastic wink, and his eyes narrowed in response. Apparently, he didn't like to be challenged. That sucked for him, because I was spoiling for a fight. That line may work on the mayor, but it doesn't fly with me. Hooking my thumb over my shoulder, I pointed out the door behind me. In case you haven't noticed, I parroted his words back to him. Toluca has a meth problem. Ms. Mason? Officer Ryan tried to interject before I cut him off. No, I barked, holding up my hand to halt whatever staunch denial he was about to sling my way. Don't even try to argue with me. The average citizen may not realize what's going on around here, but I sure as hell do. And the fact that you're going to stand there and try to deny it while looking me in the eyes only serves to piss me off further. I slammed my right hand down on the top of the desk and continued my tirade before either of them got a word in edgewise. Every single day I witness a handful of drug dealers set up shop within 100 yards of the shelter, not to mention, my voice in ire rose with each word, I've had to run off a pimp named D-Boy from loitering at the front gate twice within the last week. My best guess is that worthless bag of skin was there to recruit a few of my residents. My eye twitched at the thought. Despite all of that, you want to know what I haven't seen? Neither officer responded, so I kept speaking. What I haven't seen, not once in the last week, is a single damn patrol car. At this point, I was irate, thinking about D-Boy and the vile words he'd spewed all over me when I'd confronted him standing outside the Toluca Battered Women's Shelter where I worked days before made my blood boil. It was bad enough we had meth dealers open up shop all around us, but add in a pimp or two, and I was ready to start running people over with my old beater of a truck. The problem needed handling, like right now. Ms. Mason, Officer Ryan said, his tone placating. I understand your concern, but you need to understand that the shelter where you're employed is a magnet for criminal activity. You have residents who... My head snapped back as if I'd been slapped. You've got to be kidding me, I hollered, interrupting him mid-sentence. Allowing myself a moment to get my crazy under control, I closed my eyes and sent up a prayer to a higher power. Lord, grant me patience, because if you give me strength, I may just end up on the 5 o'clock news for beating a man or two to death. I inhaled through my nose and opened my eyes. My gaze met